Hi, I'm Ariel. I never thought I'd be plotting revenge against my own son, but life has a way of surprising you. For 68 years, I've been the reliable one, the one who shows up. When my husband died 5 years ago, Derek was my rock. We had Sunday dinners, morning coffee chats, and he'd drop by just because. Then he met Vanessa. Mom, you're going to love her. She's incredible. I tried. God knows I tried. The first dinner was pleasant enough, but her eyes glazed over whenever I spoke. Within months, our Sunday tradition disappeared. Sorry, Ariel, we're just so busy with our influencer stuff. Vanessa always called me by my first name, never Mom or even Mrs. Campbell. Derek stopped calling. When he did visit, Vanessa was always there, pulling out her phone during our conversations, sighing dramatically. Derek, babe, we need to get to that restaurant opening. Your followers are waiting. I watched my son transform into her accessory. When I mentioned it, Derek got defensive. Mom, you're being old-fashioned. Vanessa's building our brand. Last Tuesday started normally. I was watering my hydrangeas when the dizziness hit. The watering can dropped. Then nothing but blackness. I woke up in the hospital, a concerned Dr. Martinez hovering nearby. You had a serious collapse, Ariel. Your blood pressure dropped dangerously low. We called your emergency contact, your son. Is Derek here? The hesitation told me everything. No, we left several messages. 3 days I stayed in that hospital room. 3 days of nurses checking vitals, of staring at the door hoping my son would walk through it. On day 2, my friend Sophia rushed in, her face flushed with anger. I brought your toiletries and some clothes. Have you seen this? She thrust her phone at me. There was Vanessa, posing on a beach with a cocktail. The caption read, Surprise getaway with hubby. Sometimes you just need to disconnect. #blessed #couple goals. The timestamp? Yesterday while I was hooked to monitors. They know you're here, Ariel. I messaged Derek myself. He read it. My hands trembled. Maybe there's an explanation. Sophia scrolled through more posts. Vanessa at a restaurant, Derek and Vanessa at a club. All while I lay here alone. Look at the comments. Sophia pointed to one from Derek. Best spontaneous trip ever. Another notification popped up. Vanessa again. When life gets complicated, escape. Sorry not sorry for ignoring calls this week. The nurse came in to check my blood pressure. Oh dear. It's elevated again. Family troubles? I couldn't even answer. After Sophia left, I stared at the ceiling for hours. I remembered how Derek used to call me his warrior mom after his father died. How he promised to always be there for me. Dr. Martinez stopped by later. We're discharging you tomorrow. Is someone picking you up? My son, I lied. That night I made a decision. This wasn't just about a missed hospital visit. This was years of being pushed aside, forgotten, replaced. Derek and Vanessa didn't just neglect me during a medical emergency, they flaunted their disregard. As I signed my discharge papers, I knew. They would learn what happens when you abandon the wrong person. I wasn't just a forgotten mother. I was a woman with resources, friends, and now, a purpose. Sophia drove me home from the hospital, fuming the entire way. Your own son couldn't be bothered to pick you up? After you raised him alone for 10 years after Martin died? My house felt emptier than usual. We were making tea when my phone rang. Derek's name flashed on the screen. 5 days since my collapse. Mom, sorry I've been MIA. Our trip was planned months ago, non-refundable tickets. I collapsed. I was in the hospital for 3 days. Yeah, I got the messages when we landed. Vanessa thought it might be a false alarm, you know? You've had those dizzy spells before. The hospital called you 3 times, Derek. Your wife was posting beach selfies while doctors were monitoring my heart. Come on, it's not like that. We were just busy. Yes, I saw. Very busy drinking coconut cocktails. Mom, that's not fair. We've been building our brand. This trip was work. We needed the content. I hung up. The next morning, Dr. Martinez called for a follow-up. How are you feeling, Ariel? Any more dizziness? I'm managing. And your son? Is he helping? He's unavailable. Ariel, I'm concerned about your support system. Living alone after this type of episode is risky. I called Martin, my late husband's business partner and trusted friend. I need your help, Martin. It's about Derek. Martin arrived with lunch, and Sophia joined us. I explained everything. There's more going on here, Martin said. Derek's behavior changed too suddenly after meeting Vanessa. I've been digging, Sophia added, showing me screenshots from her iPad. Look at these comments Vanessa made in a private Facebook group. My mill is so clingy, always accidentally calling during our important meetings. Another. My husband's mom is getting so forgetful, probably early dementia, but she won't admit it. Meanwhile, she's loaded and just sitting on all that money. I've never called during any meeting, and there's nothing wrong with my memory. Martin looked grim. I ran a credit check. 3 loans in the last year with you as co-signer. Home equity line, second mortgage, and a personal loan for $50,000. I never signed those. Derek worked at that bank before the influencer business. He has access to your financial information. I remembered signing a stack of papers Derek brought over. Just some insurance updates, Mom. What do you want to do, Ariel? Sophia asked. I want my son back. But that's not possible anymore, is it? Maybe not, Martin said. But we can make sure they don't take advantage of you again. I stood up. I want to see everything. Then I'm calling my lawyer. I dialed Derek. I've been thinking about what you said. You're right, I'm getting forgetful. Maybe it's time you helped manage my affairs. Can you and Vanessa come for dinner this weekend? I'd like to discuss the future. His excitement was palpable. Of course, Mom, we'll be there. I hung up and looked at my friends. Now we prepare. The 3 days before the dinner flew by in a whirlwind of preparation. Martin contacted his lawyer friend who specialized in elder fraud. He's documenting everything. Those forged loan papers? That's criminal. Sophia set up hidden cameras in my living room and dining area. Not for legal purposes, just for your protection. If they try anything, we'll have it on record. Saturday morning, Dr. Martinez stopped by with my medical report. I've documented everything about your hospital stay, the calls to your emergency contact, their lack of response. You're of completely sound mind, Ariel. Don't let anyone tell you differently. Thank you for doing this. I've seen too many elderly patients manipulated by family. Not on my watch. The doorbell rang at 6 sharp. Derek and Vanessa arrived with a bottle of cheap wine and forced smiles. Mom, you look great. Totally recovered. Vanessa air-kissed my cheeks. Love what you've done with your hair, Ariel. My hair hadn't changed in 15 years. I shuffled slightly, playing up the frailty. Come in, dears. I'm just a bit tired these days. Vanessa's eyes darted around the room, no doubt mentally cataloging items of value. That painting, is that new? It looks expensive. Oh, just a little something Martin helped me pick up at auction. Derek's ears perked up at the mention of money. How is Martin? Still handling Dad's old investments? And mine, I said, my voice deliberately vague. So much paperwork these days, I can barely keep track. Over dinner, I mentioned casually, I've been thinking about the future. My house, investments, your father's life insurance. Vanessa nearly choked on her wine. We've been thinking the same thing. Derek and I worry about you managing all this alone. It's getting to be a burden, I sighed. My lawyer suggested a power of attorney. Derek couldn't hide his excitement. That makes so much sense, Mom. I could handle everything. Maybe we could help you downsize, Vanessa added. This big house must be so much work. I noticed she'd been texting under the table all evening. Later, Sophia forwarded me screenshots from a mutual friend in Vanessa's circle. OMG, it's happening! The old lady's finally signing everything over. Beach house, here we come. After dessert, I brought out a folder of financial documents. Here's everything my lawyer prepared. We just need to sign these at the family gathering next weekend. Derek frowned. Family gathering? Yes, for my birthday. Didn't I mention it? All the cousins, Martin, Sophia, everyone will be here? We can make the announcement then. Vanessa smiled tightly. Wouldn't it be easier to just sign now? Save you the stress? Family tradition, I said firmly. Important decisions shared with loved ones. Your father would have wanted it that way. After they left, Martin called. How did it go? They took the bait. Hook, line, and sinker. The lawyer has everything ready. And Sophia got those text messages. They're really hanging themselves. I smiled for the first time in weeks. One more week, then everyone sees exactly who they really are. My birthday gathering was perfectly set. Sophia had helped decorate, and 20 of my closest friends and extended family filled the house. Martin arrived early to review our plan one last time. Are you sure about this, Ariel? It's not too late to back out. I've never been more sure of anything. Derek and Vanessa arrived fashionably late. Vanessa was dressed like she expected photographers, phone ready for selfies. Derek carried the folder of documents I'd given them, practically bouncing with anticipation. Happy birthday, Mom. Everyone's here. Perfect timing for our announcement. Vanessa scanned the room, obviously disappointed by the lack of wealthy connections. Such an intimate gathering. After dinner, Derek clinked his glass. Everyone, Mom has something important to share. I stood slowly, meeting each person's eyes. Yes, I do. I've learned some difficult truths recently, and you all deserve to know. I nodded to Sophia, who dimmed the lights. A projector screen lowered from the ceiling. What's this? Derek whispered. Evidence, I replied, as the first screenshot appeared. Vanessa's beach selfies timestamped during my hospitalization. 3 months ago, I collapsed and spent 3 days in the hospital. My emergency contact never showed up. Gasps from around the room. Cousin Elaine turned to Derek. You weren't there? The slides continued. Vanessa's private messages calling me senile, the credit checks showing forged loans, the text messages about getting the old lady's money. Derek lunged for the projector. Mom, this is ridiculous. You're taking everything out of context. Is this out of context? Dr. Martinez stood up. I called you 6 times when your mother was in critical condition. You read the messages and ignored them. Vanessa grabbed her purse. We're not sitting through this ambush. Sit down. Martin's voice cut through the room. There's more. I held up the folder Derek had brought. These aren't power of attorney papers. This is evidence of 3 fraudulent loans you took out in my name. Derek's face drained of color. Mom, I can explain. No need. My lawyer already has everything. Those loans? Forgery? The lies about my mental state? Defamation? The abandonment during medical emergency? Just plain cruelty? Vanessa turned on Derek. You said this was foolproof. You said she'd never know. As of yesterday, I continued, I've changed my will. Derek, you're removed completely. Cousin Elaine covered her mouth in shock. Uncle Phil shook his head in disgust. Martin stepped forward. Instead, Ariel has established the Campbell Family Scholarship Fund. Her estate will help deserving students who actually show up for people who need them. Derek collapsed into a chair. You can't do this. I already have, I replied. Oh, and Vanessa? Check your socials. Sophia smiled wickedly. I sent everything to your followers. Screenshots, hospital records, loan documents, it's trending. Hash fraud influencers? Vanessa frantically checked her phone, face crumpling. My sponsors are dropping me. My followers, they're all unfollowing. What have you done? Told the truth, I said simply. They left in disgrace. Vanessa in tears, Derek silent with shock. Later, surrounded by my true family, Sophia, Martin, Dr. Martinez, and friends who actually cared. I felt lighter than I had in years. Are you okay? Sophia asked. I'm better than okay. I'm free. The next morning, I woke to text messages from relatives who couldn't attend, all expressing support. Martin called with news that Derek's bank was investigating him for fraud. I sat on my porch, watching the sunrise. For the first time since my collapse, I felt my blood pressure normal, my breathing easy. Sometimes the family you choose matters more than the family you're born with. And sometimes, justice is the best medicine of all. What would you have done in Ariel's position? Was her public humiliation of Derek and Vanessa justified? Or did she go too far by exposing them in front of everyone and destroying their social media presence? Should family members who betray and neglect you ever be given a second chance? Or was Ariel right to cut them off completely? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed Ariel's journey from betrayal to justice, hit that like button and subscribe for more revenge stories where toxic people finally face consequences. New stories every day.